Wow, thank you so much, Obi, for that. As we now have Benzinga in our ear, we will bring you GameStop and everything to you ASAP. Wow, what an end of the day there as the NASDAQ, oh, Stream Deck is not loaded over here. I'll load that up in a minute. As the NASDAQ made a move there at, whoopsies, what just happened? Oh no, how do I get back to my other screen? Do you know how to do that? Alt Windows. Alt, left, oops, left arrow. Okay, is this the right one? There it is. Woo. Okay, Stream Deck threw me for a loop right there. All right, guys, you saw a nice move down for NASDAQ. So right now we'll watch GameStop if I hear anything. Thank you to everybody that's here right now. Shout out to Huang family, Bora, TH, Andrew, and everybody. Great job, Obi. That is for damn sure. We had a nice little move down in the NASDAQ at the end of the day. What's up with that? Well, we were short this name. The best part about it was I feel that NVIDIA. So, I mean, look at this flush. We left this alone there at the end of the day as we were clearly focused on the NASDAQ. But today might have been one of the worst days for NVIDIA in a minute. I mean, here we go. Let's zoom in just a little bit here to see exactly. I mean, here's the red candle. I mean, we get a nice move down here, 950, all the way back to 870, 874. That's because of earnings. We did bounce back up there on that. Or was that earnings there? March 8th? No, that's not earnings for NVIDIA. But a nice move back in. This red candle trying to form out. I still like NVIDIA down here. But again, quite a nice move here at the end of the day as we get, I don't know. I don't want to say destroyed to the downside. 925 still a good level. Let's see what happened to AMD down to 177. So that's a name that we can look at. I will bring you guys everything all about GameStop. We just got to wait for it. EPS expected, EPS of 25 cents. So we'll see if they can, come through. All right, so this is what we're looking at right now. This might be a little hard to see. If I can get me off there, thanks. Yeah, Microsoft today pretty flat. Google up right now today. You're just going to see a lot of the big names in red if there was anything. So there's NVIDIA down that 1.73%. I actually think it was down more than that. We'll refresh. Oh, it's taking the aftermarket in consideration. So, all right, so some nice downside moves. What was up today? Tesla with a nice move today. How about them Disney shares as Disney gets going today? Again, nice move upside for Disney. Let's have a quick look. We did fade off that 120, but we closed at 120. So that's a great trade. We'll talk about this maybe with Chris, but we've had a nice move upside for Disney, taking out that 118. To me, this is a good sell level. You all know that we're long Disney from 80, but really from 90 to 80, $95. Nice move up right there. What was getting hit today? The utilities, a little bit of downside action here today on the daily. The one name that I think we could probably buy that I saw some of you asking me about was XBI. So right here again, this is the biotech ETF. It's been getting hit downside a little bit. But I like biotech. I like all this new drug discovery. We do like Moderna here. I like Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk. You guys can do the research to what's in right there. But this could be a good play. Back into the 50 period. Watch out for that one on XBI. A recent buy of mine was Snowflake. We bought some of that. Had a nice move up to 160 and change today. But at the end of the day, finishing. GameStop is out. It's 22 cents. For GameStop. So they are positive. 22 cents, missing 25 cents, missing 29 cents. GameStop, a nice downside move here, starting to go. GameStop sales down as well. I'm hearing it in my ear. I don't have it on Benzinga. A miss on sales and a miss on earnings per share. So there goes GameStop right into $13. Looks like they're going to miss everywhere. Honestly, true story. I was in GameStop this weekend. My kids wanted that Super Mario Tokyo 2020, the Olympics game for the Switch. They didn't have it, but there it is. Nice downside move there. We probably just have to get it off of the game store, the Switch store, Nintendo Online. Not good for GameStop. Nice downside move. Drink some water as we wait for those numbers officially. It's GameStop right here. Sooner the better for Chris. All right, Trader Talk. Let's go. It's Chris. Let's go. I don't have it on here. I don't have... hit Trader Talk for me if you guys have it. There it is. Hey, Chris, how are you doing, my friend?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly fine. Thank you so much on short notice coming through today. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but we're doing our podcast, so I wanted to bring you out today. Nice miss. I mean, not a nice miss, but GameStop, again, sales 1.79 versus 205. They miss on EPS and sales. There goes GameStop to the bottom. Is this a name that maybe you look at, Chris, or is this for the birds, this GameStop? I mean, they haven't been a great trade for a while. GameStop right now going lower, Chris, taking down that 12 now. GameStop down 13%, now below some of this support. Next support down here at 12 bucks. Anything on this report for you?
No, we were sitting. Well, I did actually a Twitter, a 1-minute video on rebalancing at the end of the quarter.
Okay.
And that they were going to hit the biggies. So it was really exciting to see them hit the biggies the last 3 hours. And I'll show you my reasoning. I can show you a watch list if you'd like.
Sure, yeah, let's talk about that because that's what our traders are looking for, new trade ideas. So let me know what's on that watch list and what you're looking at.
So the first thing we did in here is we went just to your trusty free site, FinViz. And what we did in there, let me get it so I'm not staring to the left on you. Give me a second. My internet went out right when the market started to get nailed. But I'll show you this. I have a lot of tabs up. So all we did in here is we took a screener.
Okay.
Now, the reason we're doing this is because the disparity between bonds and stocks is the widest I've seen it in about 7 years. And so you have the SPX on the left. So I put a little arrow at the beginning of the year. And on the right, you have the 30-year bond market and what this has done since the beginning of the year. So, and 50-50 funds need to sell stocks and buy bonds to make up for that.
Right. You mentioned that, but you mentioned that to us before, but when does that happen? The third Friday? Is that what it was? Is that the rebalance?
No, the end of the quarter. So they're all different kinds of rebalances, but this one, the quarterly one, is usually the biggie. But the real thing is it hasn't worked forever because you haven't had this big a disparity. So the whole idea is that's a massive disparity for the quarter. So what do hedge funds have to sell? Probably their biggest holdings.
Right, makes sense.
So that's how we did the FinViz scan. So all we did in here is we took sector. You could take technology or any sector. We'll just take tech, just as an idea. But we really took any, and we took X funds. So I don't know if you could see this. Yep. I know it's sort of small.
No, we can see everything. This actually works out perfectly fine. We'll remove your head when we get the symbols ready to go there, Chris. And you can set this up if you want and come back to me for a couple minutes.
Oh, no, I can do it fast. I mean, this is something really quick. So all we're doing is we're taking stocks over 50 that have current volume over 750,000. That's personal preference. Right. And we're adding one technical indicator. All we're adding is stocks that are up at least 20% for the quarter.
Okay.
And then what we did is we sorted them by price and we built a big old watch list. So let me show you the watch list and what they did today on the close. It's pretty exciting. So here's my watch list. March 25th, end of quarter. I did this yesterday. And you're going to see amazing moves in the last 3 hours. Check this out in Meta. Now, I'm a little annoyed because we did a spread in Meta and we were too right. But I want to show you this anyway. So this is Meta this year. It's gone crazy, like you know.
Yep.
And then go and check what it's done on a 5-minute chart. That's pretty dramatic, and it's not a one-off. I mean, so it was Meta, it was the SPX. It was Microsoft. It was NVIDIA.
Are you talking about specifically for today, into today's close?
No, we were positioning for, let's say, Thursday. Usually what happens is it happens at the end of the middle of the week.
Okay.
Because everybody tries to front run everybody else. So usually on a Tuesday or Wednesday of a normal week, because it's a short week, we figured it would be today.
Okay, well, hey, you nailed it. That's a good one. We did have a market side imbalance of 4.9 billion to sell that came out, of course, at 350, and that was a good indicator. And I know you're a busy guy and your internet crapped out, but thankfully our internet didn't do that at all. Check out this trade, my guy. We had the TQQs. We took over 130 points on the NASDAQ as we shorted a triple levered NASDAQ product right here. These are all short. And then I don't get out like anybody else you've seen. So these were all covers right here into the close, all the way down, man. And we just kept covering all the way back in. But isn't that kind of crazy the way I trade? Just keep on getting pieces out all the way there. We call it planting purple flowers. You got the purple up here, then the green all the way to the downside. So yeah, we were definitely... Yeah, we were definitely a part of that short into the end of the day. And we only had a couple sectors that wound up today, including China, which was up. We had XLV with a little bit of healthcare up. The financials up today as well. So yeah, good call on that move down there in the SPX. But my question for you, Chris, is this. Where is this guy? Let me see him. There he is. All right, this is done. So that's done. Great call. We'll pat ourselves on the back. That's good. But what are we expecting tomorrow? I see the NASDAQ bouncing a little bit here. We're coming into a little bit of support. I could see a little bit of a rally early, maybe back up to this like 18.5 or so area on the NASDAQ, and then a potential fade into the close for tomorrow. I mean, we're heading into a long weekend with Easter. Are you looking at potential selling continued into the weekend, or was this move maybe just a flush that you're looking for?
Well, I had out of the money put flies that are now like went through the strike, so probably will keep going down. But all kidding aside, well, let me just tell you, number one, we're short a lot of things, but we're long XPI in the Chinese market. And unfortunately, they got dragged down with everything else on the close, but those could definitely turn back around. But I wanted to show you this. This is the last time I saw this kind of massive disparity between the bonds and the SPX. This is 2016. And I wanted to show you that it didn't end on a Wednesday. So it kept going down the rest of the week, the entire week, from Wednesday to Friday. It never bounced. So I just thought you'd like to see that it might not be over. Then if I go to the SPX just now, where's the support? Well, I think you're right. You see, the support is right there, the prior tops. It's not that far from it, like you said. So you could, I got to think, if you get that bounce, it's got to be a fade until I see that support tested.
Okay, I was looking at the same thing. You are long FXI or are you long KWeb? Because there's a couple different names here in China. And what is getting you long this? Because unless I misheard you, I like this. We're above the 50 period for me, just on a technical base here. I almost wonder if some of the wool's being sort of covered over our eyes here, because I don't know if things are actually that bad in China. We've started to go back up to the upside. A name like Alibaba is something that's been interesting to me for a while. But again, we're still pretty depressed. I'm looking to rotate out potentially of some of these big US tech names, and maybe China's the right spot, but I wonder if we're just trying to catch a falling knife here. Do you like FXI or did I mishear you?
I was looking at YINN.
Oh, wow, so that's right.
That's like the triple. And the problem is we have a call fly for Thursday. So we have on this. You can see my position, the 17, 20, 23. So we did it for $1.20. The problem is if the whole market gets destroyed, you wonder if that's going to work.
Right.
So, I mean, we were trying to take a profit, but then we're already short other things. Why don't we just stay in what we're in? And so at the last minute, we shorted 20 shares for every butterfly we're in. But
it's a little bit of hedge there.
I totally agree with you about it starting to turn the corner regarding that 50, just like you were talking about. But you might get that tech rotation where they go for the things that didn't go up this year. And so I totally see where you're coming from.
Because we had the worry today as well, Chris, that sales in China for Tesla units a couple days ago, and then this morning we got a little bit of a warning, although there wasn't much follow through with that Apple warning, but we did hear also that sales were down in China for Apple, for Tesla, so I'm thinking that bleeds over to Starbucks, Nike, names like that, but there's that yin yang that you brought to us before, so I definitely like all that. Anything on Reddit or anything, or that DJT? I mean, do you guys trade any of those? I know Reddit.
Yeah, we actually traded. Thank goodness we got out.
Yep.
We actually saw that the volatility was in the sky, and we actually did put flies in there around 60 on the opening.
On the opening today, this morning, or?
Yeah, look what the expected move is for next week, 21. You see that on the bottom right?
Yeah, where are we looking? Oh, right there.
Yeah, when we did the butterflies, it was 34. Now, of course, we got out too early. We made like 14%. But the butterflies that we did for 318, I don't even want to know where they are. You know, you always root for it to go up when you're already out of it.
I know. Isn't that true?
373. So it's still okay.
You did okay. You did okay.
But it was all about that. This was a little overcooked into the announcement it was shifting to DJT. So when it was up, that was our theory that would come down to earth and it would take the volatility with it.
Yeah, I was just looking at that as well today with DJT. We had an absolutely monster, wasn't it? Yeah, look at this, man. It's still going here in the after hours with DJT, still down pretty nicely. Let's go to the 1 minute chart.
Wow.
We were actually talking about this $75 level here that hit earlier. Now you're down to 57 and trying to go lower, as I'm guessing, yeah, like you mentioned, man, some of the volatility here coming a little bit out of the name to the long side and getting back. Remember, this was DWAC. So again, a name change. We've had price discovery before with DWAC. Really for Reddit, I mean, we had some good plays today. We actually nailed the very bottom of this trade on Reddit. Do you have to go at any time, Chris? Because I'll let you go immediately.
No, all I have to do is try to find my cat that's hiding that I haven't been able to find all day.
Yeah, do you have a can of tuna? Do you have a can of tuna?
Something.
Do you have a can of tuna around?
You know, I should put that out. That's a good idea. That's a great idea, but we have
not just a handsome face over here,
that
Chris.
won't work.
Yeah, okay, well, just be careful about whatever you do. Do not put out any traps other than that tuna can. Yeah, we had Reddit down here today early. We got a great fill right here at 63. Took it all the way back up to 68. Good luck on finding the cat, man. Nice move right there. But then we got hit a little bit when it came back in, and then we left it at the end of the day. I kind of look at Reddit as ARM. ARM had a nice move. Here, let's go over with the trade ideas.
I don't want to really talk about ARM. I was sure
we'll pass on that.
Some of the best trades, worst trades I have are the ones I don't post for subscribers, thank goodness. Because I've been really bearish on ARM, especially when somebody on network TV pounded the table on it at 145. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that when a secondary comes out or a IPO lockup expiration, that you get all these people on TV promoting it, and it sold off. Now 16 points since then. The problem is I had put flies under the market saying that's all bunk, and then it just blew through it. So thank goodness I was short. Don't laugh. I was short 15 shares against my put flies that are way in the money, and the 15 shares was enough to make up for the loss in the put flies.
I'm not, I mean, yeah, the amount of shares that you grab is, the risk associated with the position that you do have on. Your cat's no way by the name of Jinxie, is it? Your cat Jinxie?
No, it's Sammy. But I'll tell you,
do you know where Jinxie's from?
Cat. I've looked everywhere while I'm trying to trade. So I'm trying to do both. But the cats have a habit of coming out right at dinner time. Yeah,
my cat's name is William, and he's very handsome. Is your cat a black cat by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah, same as mine. Okay, we'll share pictures.
So, and also share charts.
Yeah,
but, just
go ahead.
Just no, I mean, any charts you want to show me, I mean, let
I'm
me
down.
know.
I've got many more coming, my guy. All right, quickly, just an update for everybody that's watching right now. GameStop still making that move down on the 1 minute chart. We're trying to base out here in and around 13 bucks. So we'll have to watch out to see if anything's going to be happening for GameStop pretty soon. Okay, you know, this NVIDIA was a big move down, but you know what's been really bothering me is that this little dip buy opportunity in here, I haven't made any dip buys in NVIDIA, and I just feel like we're missing an opportunity here. We could think it's overdone. That's a nice story. Great. NVIDIA's overdone. It's boiled up to the upside. But you know what? I mean, is there a better name? If we're going to include this into the Mag 7 here, is this the #1 dip buy opportunity that you know of? Is there something else that you like? I like Uber, but honestly, back into here, 870, 860, I feel like we got to buy some NVIDIA here until we're wrong. Let's see it break this 50-period moving average. I mean, if you wait around to buy at the 50-period moving average, eventually this average is going to go to the upside, and you might be wind up buying this 850, 860. I have a bid down here. If we hit this in the next couple days, I want to get long NVIDIA. Am I losing my mind or what? Because I like dip buys in NVIDIA right now.
I think this rebalancing, we just have to let the dust settle on Thursday. And the problem I'm having with NVIDIA is I don't want to get in too early. And I was just looking at it as you're talking and seeing what the trigger would be. And I got to think it's what you see here with that trend line, where you see that washout you're talking about, and then you see a bullish pattern develop, even if you miss the first move.
Right. So you're going to wait. So you're going to wait.
That's what I'm watching.
Okay, so wait for some confirmed support there. Okay, I really like NVIDIA. Give me your opinion then. All right, you know what? I was going to ask you about Uber, but another name that you and I have talked about is going to be Disney actually this time, Chris. Let's look at Disney. So let's look at DIS. I'll let you give a second to call up your charts. Come over to my screen. Just come over here for quickly, just for a second. I know you and I have talked about this a couple times. I went over the thesis today of why we're long. And the reason why we're long was very, very simple. We had these crazy COVID bottoms down here near $84, $85. The whole world wasn't traveling. Everything was shut down. Disney had its issues. Obviously on the reopen and then the direct-to-consumer with ESPN, with Disney Plus, we had a huge move back up. Then all of a sudden this earnings report happened. We got out of Disney when it broke here. We started buying back because we thought this bottom in and around $80, we can't be that bad, can we? I mean, are we back to COVID bottoms? I don't know. We bought this bottom. We had talked about that. We broke above the 50. We broke above the 200. And now it seems like we're sailing high. I want to get some out right here. The last time I exited was 112. That seems like a miss. But right now we're getting back up to the upside, taking out this 118, 120. Maybe next stop is up here at 125. What is Disney looking like maybe from an option standpoint or from what you're seeing? It's been a nice move up. Again, we have proxy battles coming out. Maybe we wait for their next earnings report, but that's not until May 8th. So what's Disney looking like to you? Do we need to be worried if we're long here on a very nicely done move to the upside?
Well, here we go again. You could take IBM, you could take Disney, you could take Uber, and look how much they're up for the quarter. So you wonder if those are the stocks they're going to nail, but it seems like the hedge funds are really long the tech stocks. So Disney, I know it's parabolic, and it's up, what is that, 20? Well, it's up a lot since you mentioned it when I was on the show.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, you got to give yourself props. It's up about 25%, almost 30%. But I just wonder about these at the next 2 days, if I should be buying downside puts.
Okay, maybe that's the best way to cover your long positions.
Yeah, you could do that. Especially when you look at it, it would be violent, like you saw in SMCI the last hour or NVIDIA. So to protect your positions, you can always go in and buy like the 118 puts. They're 15 cents, just in case. One of those just in case trades.
Chris, we have over 2,500 people watching right now. I want to thank you for coming through today on short notice. We're not going to let you go. I just put in the chat if anybody has any questions for you. So hang on maybe for a couple more minutes, and we'll see if the chat does that. So right now, Chris Bretcher, thank you so much. He's here with us at Simpler Trading. And if there's any questions for you, let's go. Let's get them in through right now. All right, quickly over here, Fabian. I just want to check out GameStop one more time. Okay, so GameStop, by the way, just for everybody here that's with us, as we'll get some questions for Chris. I just saw in here, all right, the best thing to do would be to search for the symbol. GMER, no, that's not right, gamer. GME. I thought they were pausing and not having a conference call tonight. Right now, there it is right now. GameStop says they will not be holding a conference call today. Chris, I don't think that's very good. Trading following worse, trading they're lower than expected there. We'll wait to see what happens with guidance, but there it is right now. Favorite GameStop plunges after revenue and EPS miss. Shawn the Dark here, are you a gamer at all, Mr. Bretcher?
No, we had talked about a long time ago. My son is, and I mean, he's 27 now. He works. I can't even go into what he does because I'm not allowed to know. So let's just leave it like that in computer security. But
okay, maybe he's Palo Alto guy.
Yeah, but I will tell you that he has probably 10 computers here, the old computers, and I keep hoping there's Bitcoin on it.
I was going to say he's mining Bitcoin. He's mining Bitcoin, and he's using the power in your house to do that. So you're such a great father. You know,
he played a lot of Minecraft.
Oh, there you
go. And I guess people pay you for picks or shovels. And I bug them like at least once a month. Like, are you sure you don't have Bitcoin in those Minecraft things?
Right.
And
he does.
But that's why I've kept his computers just in case, because if I threw him out, all of a sudden he'll say, "Oh, I had a digital wallet on that laptop. That stinks. You say you threw it out."
Could you?
So I have a whole stack of his computers.
Could you just imagine like finding, you open up some sort of a wall and you even see like 3 Bitcoin there, like put 200K in your pocket? I mean, I'm down with that. That is for sure. All right, people have some silly questions in here. Some people want to know if you're hiring and stuff like that. So that's not going to be happening. Any opinion? Okay, here's a good question from a longtime viewer. So let's do this. Come over to my screen right now. All right, so we talked about China for a little bit there, Oleg. He's long yin, so you could look at the yin and yang there as well. But Henry Chung, I think this is a good question here. So, all right, what about any opinion on Boeing? So we've been trading Boeing here on the show for a minute. I've really liked just going back and sort of taking away some of the news. So shout out to Henry, good question. I know that some of our viewers have bought down here. I talked about buying some more for the long term, down at this 177. We talked about whenever you're using dish soap and random products like that to make sure that your products don't have leaks, so on and so forth. Not a great sign for Boeing, but at the same time, I think that, hey man, it's been destructed to the downside. There's a lot of negative news in that. We just had a management shakeup the other day. I like Boeing down here, and quite frankly, I'm not afraid to say I'd buy these dips into 177 again if that's possible. I like the management change. Anything for you on Boeing?
It's really scary because my son was going to California on a United Airlines flight, and they said that you have to wear a parachute. That got me a little scared. That's a little scared in there, but all kidding aside, the only thing I see with Boeing on the negative side is a Barron's article about that this could hurt their cash flow.
Right.
But I thought they were a cash cow, so I don't know about that. Last time they said that, the stock went straight up. Probably the best way to play it is some kind of vertical call debit spread going out into like May, figuring that then you have limited risk, but a lot of reward if it does turn around.
So why do you pick how does that work exactly? Like you're picking May. Like, are you just generally out a couple months every time when you're making those plays? Do you pick certain dates? Like I would have thought maybe June because it's half a year.
Yeah, maybe June. Maybe you're right. It's more that it has so much technical damage. It might take a long time to recover. That's the way I looked at it. But now that I looked at earnings are coming up in April, you're probably right to play the June. Probably play the Junes and do something like a 200, 210.
Okay, I think that's a safe way to do that as well. All right, Chris, I don't know if I have you. Do I have you next week or not? I'm not sure. Is there a play right now that you're looking at a little bit shorter term? So that's the next question in the chat, and then I'll let you go because we're past 4:30. Is there something other than, you mentioned a little bit of long China, is there anything you're looking at in the next couple days, maybe besides something related to that rebalancing? If there's anything other than that, maybe that you're looking at that we can get our viewers to look at with you?
Don't laugh on this. Is one of the reasons bonds have been, really heavy is definitely because the commodities. We've been,
Okay.
how many times I've harked about the DBA.
Yep.
Then you had Bostic come out and say that there's some troubling commodity signs.
Huh.
So this is an idea for you, a long shot, that if you do get a rebalancing, that TLT starts to have a heck of a rally. So maybe buying the 94 TLT calls for this week. They're probably pretty cheap, betting on some kind of pop.
There we go. Chris Brecher, thank you so much. And is there anything you want to talk about, or anywhere people can find you? You doing any webinars or anything coming up?
I'm actually doing right now for probably 4 hours an Ask Me Anything on StockTwits. I have a ton of followers on there, like 48,000.
Kaboom.
So I have a lot of questions to answer, but there have been great questions. You could just go to Christopher Brecher on StockTwits, ask me a question, reasonable question. There have been some bizarre questions.
I bet.
And I'm not doing any webinars, just on the Chart Patterns Mastery at least twice a day, and I jump on all day.
Perfect.
If I see something.
Well, thank you for taking the time to jump on with us today. That's Chris Brecher. Go find him on StockTwits and ask him anything you want, especially about those snakes. Thank you, Mr. Brecher. We'll talk to you next time.
All right. Take care. Thanks for having me on.
Ciao. No problem. Anytime. Okay, that's it. I don't have my... Oh, there you go. It's Fabian. Oh, what a professional there running through that. Okay, so we went a little overboard there today, and I want to thank Chris for everything. I mean, that guy's... What a great dude, and what a super smart guy for sure. So Chris Brecher, what's up with that? There he is. What's up? Okay, so we talked a little bit. We'll just go over some of our tweets there. We were tweeting all about this. I'm very, very excited to have Mr. Kunal Desai coming through from at Wall Street, Bulls on Wall Street, going to be coming through tomorrow on our podcast. That should be a heck of a lot of fun, man. You think we're having fun with Brendan. Make sure you definitely check out our sticky note. We nailed that Reddit long today, man. That was a gorgeous trade down there. We got long 63, but we wrote down 62. That was a nice move to the upside. Watch out for DJT as well. Tesla's bottom was 178. We nailed Tesla today. That was a good trade. Amazon, we played off the 180, although we switched it into the short at the end of the day. And I still want to look back at DraftKings. I don't think that story is done. All righty then. What a good show. I want to thank everybody for watching. The one thing that we haven't done yet, and we have to do it every single day because you guys are the best. It's roll call. Let's go. Fabian with the roll call. It's not working, so roll call is now. All right, so who is here with us right now? Trust me when I tell you we have a real cool sort of graphic for that. Unfortunately, I opened up Stream Deck and it's not loading on this computer, so we'll figure that out after. Breaking news. All right, Kunal is going to be with us, me and Brendan, Saturday morning on the podcast. All goes well, man. We'll bring him on the show. Why not? Thank you so much for For Profit saying the best show ever. We really appreciate that. What's up to Daryl Flitch as well? What's up to Tom's Trades? What's up to Michelle Meir? Thank you so much for those kind comments about Chris. I agree, man. Very, very likable guy. Mr. Westermeyer is here. Thank you so much. Next time we'll get together, man. I'll be here. Let's go. It's Chef Joe. Chef Joe gets a roll call for sure. Mike is here. Cling Daddy Sebastian is here as well. Mike the Mangler. Okay. Mike Breeze is here. Frank Boso. The Huang family is here. What's up? Tees Trade with all the trophies and some beers. What's up, Tees? Everybody that's here. Derek Thompson. Bright Awakening. Odyssey Flights. Tokyo. Oh, I thought that was Chef there. I think you had a battle there between you and Chef Joe. Hey, thanks for sticking around to you too, Pillsbury. Hey, look, man, traders stay late. That's the hashtag. All I can ask, go over at Trader TV Shawn, like, follow, subscribe, all of that, both on Instagram and on Twitter. aka X. Thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 with my guy Obi. It's already midweek, baby. We're gonna go home here. I still gotta file some taxes. So we're gonna get ready to do that as well. We'll check out some charts. You can never look at enough charts. So join me tomorrow at 8:30. We'll have Sticky Note Nation again. Thanks to my guy Fabian. Thanks to Chris as well. Go find him at Christopher Bretcher on Stock Twits. Thank you so much. I'm exhausted. I'll see everyone tomorrow.